Epic Games released Unreal Engine 5 officially a week ago or so. The first thing which I usually do is, before making any project, is to learn how to integrate the project with a source control system. I'm using GitHub, and fortunately Unreal Engine has, in my opinion, quite decent support for GitHub too. This is still a beta version, but it works completely fine. Here is the project which I'm going to start. This, when you click, this is a preview version. This is a 1-hour preview version of this C++ Beginners Masterclass. The teacher is Alexandra Kropova. And if you click this link, you have the option to purchase this course for $10, which I have done. So that's why I'm progressing with this project, and I'm using this project as my first GitHub repo. I'm creating a repository on GitHub. Create a new repository, top down game. This is an Unreal C++ top-down game after Alexandra Kropova's course. I make this project public and I make it completely empty. That's the best way, because all of these files will be initialized later. Create repository. Cool. And at this point, just copy this link here, and then coming back to Epic Games, let's just create a new project. So I'm creating a new project, C++ desktop maximum with starter content. Project name could be anything, but it's better to give exactly the same name. Top down game. Just after a minute or so, the Visual Studio is going to be opened. The project has been initialized, and that's what we have here. I'm not going to close this Visual Studio screen because we need it later. And then the project, when we have a look, the content folder, the starter content folder, when I have a look, it's quite huge. It contains 270 files, 600 megabytes. Definitely I don't want to push this huge amount of files into my GitHub repository. So therefore, when initializing the local GitHub repository, I want to exclude the starter content, and later when I'm progressing with my project, incrementally I'm going to add these files one by one, actually whitelisting these files after excluding the complete starter content folder. The way to do is, in the tools, there is a menu called Connect to Source Control. Select the provider as Git beta version. On the screen, here in this field, just paste the URL of your new project. In my case, this is the topdowngame.git link. Add the gitignore file, yes, definitely. Add the basic readme.md, of course. We can edit it here, but it is totally meaningless. Later, during the project, we have much better tools to edit the readme.md files. And also click Add a Git attributes file to enable Git LFS. However, make sure unclick Make the initial commit. That's very important because in my case I want to exclude, as I explained, the starter content folder. So now I'm just pressing initialize. Hold on for a second. Like to update this? Yes, update. And then initialize project with Git. I press it. Adding files to source control. What it does, it initializes Git, the Git repository, and also adds all the files to this project. So that is when I open this folder again, you can see this .git subfolder is created. Actually, this is the local Git repository for this project. And then also accept settings, because when accepting settings is pressed, the next time you open this source control part, you can see that view change list, submit content, all are available. Let's open the project folder. This is the solution folder. Let me just open a folder, top-down game, select folder. These are the files that has been created for us. The Git attributes is for the LFS is included, and we have here the gitignore. What is important, all binaries, derived data cache, intermediate, and saved, all of these folders are completely eliminated from the project. When I go over to the Git changes, however, we can see that we have all the contents from the starter content, and these files has been already staged. What we call the status of them are added. This is what we call staged, waiting for us to commit to the local repository and then publish, upload over to the GitHub repository. So definitely we want, because that's my goal, to exclude this content starter content from the project. So therefore, for the sake of simplicity, here I click this, let's call it minus icon, which unstage all. And then it unstaged all. So now I have the option to modify this gitignore file, and then I enter here content / starter content, and check out when I press Ctrl S, immediately the Git system excludes all of the files from this folder, and then we have only 14 files remained in our project. If I come back, the content folder has additional folders, and you may wonder why they are not visible here. The reason is that these folders are empty. Here you go. So therefore, that's the reason both of them are empty. I mean, they don't have any actual files, they have only subfolders. And then this is a standard behavior of Git. that if there are no files in a folder, they are not included. But when we add content, actual files into those folders, they will be included in the project too. Press stage all, and then we are ready to publish our project over to GitHub. Here, let me just add the comment. Initial version starter content excluded. And from here, I click commit staged and push, or commit stage and sync, both works fine. And then pushing master started. Okay, it has been completed. Why it works? Because when I come here in the Git manage remotes, you can see that our links, the remote repository links, the GitHub repository link has been initialized into this repository, into this project by Unreal when I copy pasted this URL, when I initialized the Git source control machinery. So that was the reason I copied it, because then this project is readily available. And when I want to have a look on GitHub, I just open in a browser, and here you go. This is my project, and of course this is visible in this page too. So my friends, that was my introduction how to quickly enable and configure a GitHub repository for an Unreal 5 project with excluding starter content. Take care and have fun.